Nacho Sundays, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Live on YouTube on the EBL exclusive Battle League Network. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, Nacho Sundays.
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme,
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Hosted by Fibonacci Brown. Don't forget to go to FibonacciBrown.com to get your copy of Growing Down.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Brought to you by the exclusive Battle League Network. EBL.
What up, dope family? Happy Sunday and welcome to season 2, episode 5 of Nacho Sundays. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this Sunday. And of course, we are going to start off with some announcements to get the show going, and then we are going to dig into our nacho. Now, to start, I want to say that I do have a couple of videos I want to play during the show. And I want to also let you guys in on a little brainstorm that I have been thinking about. As you guys know, music is passionate for me. And I do have an album coming out in 2024. We just dropped the video to the single Oplings. And since that has dropped, I have been getting inundated with music from other artists. Encouragement and compliments from other artists. And I really want to have a space for artists to be able to showcase their music. And I think I want to start something called Nacho Stand Music, where we play different music, we give feedback on it. And, you know, I'm going to keep it a thou wow because this is Nacho Sundays where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. So if you definitely want to get an honest opinion about your music, I'm really thinking about putting together a space where artists can send in their music and we can give that feedback. So that's on the brainstorm. Additionally, there are a couple of things coming up that I want to make sure that my audience is aware of. As you know, I am a battle rap fan. And I do share this platform with EBL exclusive Battle League. If it ain't exclusive, it don't matter. And they are definitely doing some big things in 2024. One of those things is a collaboration with Goods on a pay homage card that's going to be hosted on March 9th. Again, that is a Goods card, pay homage in collaboration with EBL. And as far as I know, there are going to be 3 battles that EBL will be presenting at the March 9th pay homage card. It's going to be Jay Normus versus Rick B, Innovate versus Maze, and Lockhart versus Jay Pyro. Now, I am very anxious to see Jay Normus. He never lets me down. I'm always entertained when he is battling, and I feel the same about Lockhart, but I feel like I haven't seen Lockhart in a while. So if I can catch that battle, I'll definitely be happy as well. Now, additionally, it's come down the pipe that There's also going to be a Bar You to Death Baz birthday card. That's a lot of B's. That's the Bar You to Death Baz birthday card going down on April 7th. This is going to be the faux nickel for Baz. So I'm expecting that this is going to be quite the event. And this card is pretty big. So far as I know, I'm not going to go through all of these battles, but we have some representation on this card. I see Greg the Great versus Renew. I'm sorry. Greg the Great versus Renew. We have Taz the Animal versus Jay Owens. I also see Miss Petty on this card versus DC Banga. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Miss Petty battle. Miss Petty does not come to play. So I'm definitely interested to see what Miss Petty is going to do at this battle. From what I understand, this battle is going to be live. So there may be some streaming for this battle. I haven't nailed that down yet as far as the details, but I do know that these battles will be taking place face to face. So these opponents will be laying eyes on each other in the physical. I also see on here Crystal Renee versus Shizo EU. I could be really butchering that, but I apologize if I am. But I am familiar with the name Crystal Renee. I'm definitely interested to see what she's going to do. A couple of other names. I see Jay Normus on this card as well. Jay Normus is going to be going against A Stone. So again, March 9th and April 7th. March 9th is going to be the Pay Homage card with Goods in collaboration with EBL, as well as the April 7th Baz Bar You to Death birthday card. It'll be the 45th birthday celebration for Baz, and there is quite the card developing, quite a few names on there. And from what I understand, they are still adding names. And I heard a rumor that Miss Vicious might be making a live appearance on this April 7th Baz card. So I definitely want to see what happens there. I'm giving a bunch of encouragement to her. I know this will be her first live battle. So I'm really hoping that she has a great experience with this setup. It would be a great deal for her to pull that off on Baz's birthday card. That'll be a good showing for her. Good look for her. So I'm hearing that that's the rumor. We're going to see. I'm going to check in with my chat for a second before I continue with the announcements. I see Wayne is in the chat, the first one in the chat on a what up, though. What up, though, Wayne? Thank you for pulling up. I see Commodity is in the chat. Of course, Oflo is letting us know that he is the energy. It don't matter what's going on this live chat. Oflo is the energy. I see 2-1 is in the chat. Hey, 2-1. My fave. Greg the Great is in the chat. As I mentioned, he is going to be battling on the Bass birthday card. He is going against I have butchered this name entirely too much. It's not Review. It's not Renew. It's Revenue. Forgive me, everybody. It's Revenue versus Greg the Great. I'm going to catch up. So Revenue versus Greg the Great, and Greg the Great is in our chat. So to continue with our announcements, make sure you guys are checking out FibonacciBrown.com, FibonacciBrown.com, where you will find that I am a published author, and I have published a book, my very first installment in the volume series of Growing Down, the observation of the masculinization of the Black American woman. Won't you head over to FibonacciBrown.com and get your copy? They are still selling at the introductory price. I have not changed it. So make sure you get your copy while they are still at the introductory rate. As also, I am, like I said earlier, I'm putting out an album in collaboration with 21 Illuminous, who is also in our chat. And it's called Scription Volume 2. So this is the second installment to the volume series Scription that we have been working on as far as our musical contributions to hip hop. And we have a single out right now called Oplings. Make sure you head over to YouTube so you can see the video in full. I'm also going to play that video over here. And run the numbers up. You know, I'm looking forward to it. So right now, I do understand that there is another card, and I want to no, I'm sorry, not another card. There is a trailer for the goods card. Let me say that correctly. So let me go over here and make sure I get to the trailer for the goods card. This is the Pay Homage card happening on March 9th. This is goods in collaboration with EBL, and EBL has a couple battles going down that evening. So I'm going to make sure.
All this jewelry get the hoes there.
That's right.
The 20 racks on a boxing match. You go, champ. Yeah, I invested in stock, me and my whole camp. Still trying to figure out a name for this dope stamp. Now that's real. All this jewelry get the hoes there.
That's right.
The 20 racks on a boxing match. You go, champ. Yeah, I invested in stock, me and my whole camp. Still trying to figure out a name for this dope stamp. Now that's real.
So I wanted to play that twice to make sure y'all got it. I think it's a pretty cool trailer. From what I understand, Ms. Vicious put that together. So shout out to her wearing multiple hats, showing she got talents out here. And at this time, I also want to share a video of one of EBL's own, Wayne Almighty. He's got a video out right now called Griselda, and we are going to show it for the first time on the Nacho Sundays show. Now, it may have come out somewhere else, but this is the first time on the Nacho Sundays show. So I want to share Wayne's video. Let's head over to the presentation. Uh-oh, wait a minute, y'all. Here we go.
I be like, bitch, what? I mean, K. Puto. I'll have a Vato follow you around wherever you go. I remember drug deals, there wasn't no deal. If I keep this shit up, I can get some new wheels. You can get some new heels. Life will be.
Somebody said you can't hear it. I'm going to have to start it over. Let me know if y'all can hear it. I'm over here just bobbing. My volume. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure. How about now?
So you ain't had your money there, man. Fuck you mean you ain't got my money?
You hear now?
Bitch, I'm money motivated. You can pay me in Bitcoin. I wake up in the morning, get shit going. I gotta act broke in front of broke niggas. They ain't knowing. They broken, they ain't knowing. Where I'm going, they ain't going. It's hot as fuck. I got withdrawals. But the thing is, I'm at Bank of America waiting for the teller. She want to know where it came from. I can't tell her. Me no habla inglés. I'm Enrique Inglés. I just happen to be blessed. My shirt open, taco meat on my chest. Gold chain with the rosary and the slacks is pressed. Would you like those in 20s? I said yes. I mean, see. I be doing shit that niggas can't see. I can't sing, but I can hold a key. I'm behind the scenes with the director's cut. Overseas, I could take a key out of bitch butt. I be like, bitch, what? I mean, K. Puto, I'll have a Vato follow you around wherever you go. I remember drug deals, there wasn't no deal. If I keep this shit up, I can get some new wheels. You can get some new heels. Life will be grand, I mean grande. A little bit of money, I might take out my compadre. I remember drug deals, there wasn't no deal. If I keep this shit up, I can get some new wheels. You can get some new heels. Life will be grand, I mean grande. A little bit of money, I might take out my compadre. Don't be paranoid, watch what you say. The phone's tapped. People wear wires, it be like that. If you can pay me more than they pay me, I'll give your boy back. He was kidnapped. As a grown man, you should avoid that. I got so much room in the trunk. If they got evidence, they'll be searching my car for months. Look here, Jack. Your familia is memorabilia. Remember Amelia? The love of your life. But right now, she's not feeling you. She ain't never coming back. She love you to death. She's getting close. Every time you miss the deadline, she's getting poked. You let her down, her heart's broke. Don't be surprised when somebody comes inside your house and knows exactly where to go. I remember drug deals, there wasn't no deals. If I keep this shit up, I can get some new wheels. You can get some new heels. Life will be grand, I mean grande. A little bit of money, I might take out my compadre. I remember drug deals, there wasn't no deals. If I keep this shit up, I can get some new wheels. You can get some new heels. Life will be grand, I mean grande. A little bit of money, I might take out my compadre.
Told you I'll pay your monkey ass when I feel like it. Suck my dick.
Oh, man. Wayne these snippets. That's going to be a banger in the car. I'm listening to it on the computer. But I'm sure when I hear it in the car, it's probably going to make you drive fast. So be careful with that one. Again, that's Wayne Almighty and his installment with Griselda. Make sure y'all run the numbers up on YouTube. And we're going to keep it going. As I said, I got a video on YouTube called Oplinks. And it's going to be on the Description Volume 2 album, collaboration with myself, Fibonacci Brown, and 2-1 Luminous. Everything you hear on that album is either going to be me or him. But he is doing all of the beats. And I am doing rapping and singing and the like. So anything you hear on that album, again, is either going to be me or him. I don't know who this troll is in the chat. You know, I've been trying to be tolerant, but it's not going to last much longer. Anywho, we do have one more video that we are going to look at before or do you want to save that video until we get to the mid break? Because we could do that too, save a little for the middle. Okay, so let's do that. We'll play another video, which is going to be my video in the middle. And oh my, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but yeah. So we just got rid of that person. Anywho, before we dig into our nacho, we are going to give you the layout of what we're going to be talking about in this segment. And of course, to start our nachos off, we get into the nacho cheese. And the nacho cheese is money matters, ways to make our money work for us, ways of understanding our money. And this week, we're going to be talking about what happens when you can't access crypto or digital means of money. As many of us know, there was an AT&T outage that lasted for some most of their morning and into the afternoon. And what ultimately ended up happening was some people were able to have their service back in about maybe an hour or so, where, like I said, some of us were all morning into the afternoon, which I was one of those customers. So one of the complaints is that people were not able to access their money. They couldn't use their phone to get any kind of contact with their cash or with their funds. And it was making people really nervous. Some people were ready to take off and head to the bank and pull their money out of the bank and say, hey, I'd rather put it under my mattress than be worried about trying to get it through some electronic device. So the question I'm posing to my audience is, what would some of you do? What do you trust when electronics fail? a lot of times we have access to our credit cards, access to our bank accounts. All of this is through digital devices. And if that goes down for some reason, if your phone carrier is saying, hey, we can't, give you access right now, it's a glitch in the system, and that's all they got for you, how do you go about being able to access funds so that you can sustain yourself? This time it was for several hours. Next time, who knows how long it could be? Do you have standby cash or standby funds? What are your alternatives if that's the case? Is cash still king? Do you keep a bunch of cash around in order to be able to make sure that you can move around? Do you think cash is going to be honored the way that it is if you are not in a circumstance where you have to depend on cash? Is it going to be worth more? What do you think? Also, is your alternative gold? Now, I've heard a lot of people say that they want to, I'm going to get my gold up, make sure I got a lot of gold, because if the dollar crashes in the United States, you got to be able to depend on gold. So if you are depending on gold, then if you're in a circumstance where you can't utilize digital devices, what is gold going to do for you? Who's going to be willing to trade gold for things? Are you giving gold for tomatoes? How much gold do you give for tomatoes? Will tomatoes be worth more because we don't have access to digital currency anymore? Or what do you do? Also, do you go back to a barter system? Speaking of tomatoes, are you, I'll give you a bushel of bananas for a bushel of celery. Like, what do you do when you can't digitally trade money anymore? I know a lot of people are tied up in crypto. I know there was a big surge in crypto over the last week or so where people are like, hey, my crypto shot up, so they are excited, where others are looking at that as a sign of a things to come that aren't so good. So if you aren't able to access that crypto, what is your alternative? So I've been trying to get some feedback from people on what they think they should do. I heard a lot of people that said, just leave it to the government. The government will take care of it. The government will fix it. The government's not going to let us just be out here, which is insane to me. But you do have people who think this way. So what are your thoughts around that? Me personally, I'm probably going to stick closer to cash. I think in a place where the digital devices aren't working, you can't access your funds electronically, you probably want to make sure you have a certain amount of cash on hand to be able to move about in a respected financial understanding. So I'm thinking for at least for a moment, it'll be cash until either electronics are restored or there is some other alternative that can move around the digital devices. So I'm thinking that maybe the AT&T glitch had more lessons to offer than just what am I going to do without my phone? I don't think a lot of people considered that circumstance at all. So I think in addition to seeing how you'll be able to get around not having a phone, like maybe a satellite phone, or how are you going to communicate, walkie-talkies? I think people also need to think about their money. How are you going to access your money? Is every dime you have in the bank? Do you have any emergency funds? Do you have a bug out bag that you can grab and be on the go for a while, where you don't have to worry about needing your needs sustained, other than maybe needing a shower after so long? So, some things to think about. I know for a moment when I wasn't able to use my phone after so long, it impacted other things that I had to do that day. And my family definitely thought about what we were going to do as far as our money. And we were headed to the bank. I'm not going to lie. You came over here to Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. And we were going to the bank. We were going to pull everything out of the bank, get it in cash, and when you think about something like that, if everybody had that thought process where it's like, what, the phones are going down, I'm not going to wait around to have somebody, come and tell me that we can't get back into our funding because it's digitally tied up. I'm going to go get all my cash. If everybody thought like that, that might pose an additional issue for the bank, because if everybody wants to go pull their money out of the bank could likely collapse. Now, I'm not sure how many people would have to go to the bank to make that happen to where they would see that impact, but it's something to think about. If everybody's pulling their money out of the bank because they're concerned that they won't be able to digitally reach their funds, that's a valid concern. So I wonder, is there a backup for that with the banks? Do the banks freeze money that you can take out of, just like, it's something to look into. So, I would definitely look into it to see where the bank stands on something like that. Is there ever an instance where I can't pull my money out of the bank? Is there a certain amount of money I can pull out of the bank without prior notice? I know sometimes you have to go to if you say, you want to come and get, 50K out, you can't always just walk into the bank like, give me 50K. Sometimes you have to be like, okay, let us prepare for that, because for your safety and ours, we want to make sure that that is a quick, safe transaction. So it's something to think about. I think cash is king. I would rather have cash on hand than to be able to allow the banks or the government to control how I can financially move around. That concerns me. And if you're my Nachotarians, those of you who come over to Nacho Sundays and who have been here through season 1, you guys know how I feel about being able to sustain ourselves. So in addition to be able to growing our own food, if we do need to stay in a economic system such as the dollar, again, I'm going to suggest that we find ways to make sure that we can still move around independent of electronics when it comes to our funds. I think that's safe. I think that is responsible. And I think it's something to think about. AT&T outage taught us more than just what are you going to do without your phone. There's a couple of lessons in there in addition to that. And I think the more we begin to think about it, we'll be able to find some more lessons in there that can give us a head start on what may be in the future. You can't take no chances these days. You can't just expect the government gonna handle it. You gotta, take care of yourself and be responsible for yourself. So before we get into the beefy nacho, I think this will be a good spot to take a small break. And when we come back, we'll get into the beefy nacho. I'm gonna save what that's about for later. And to start off our break, I'm going to share my screen and get into the Oplings video by me, Fibonacci Brown, and 21 Illuminous off of our Scription Volume 2 album.
I may have been detected. I'm using the tuning forks in reverse frequency to heal myself when necessary. Seems like there's more than just one. It is a network that I'm unraveling here. So I'm going to need more time to unravel this network, if you understand what I'm saying. Over in our mothership, see you soon, and trust we will have your people ready to lead these motherfuckers to doom. You can always trust and trust. Over in our mothership, we in this bitch.
Yeah, 21 Illuminous, Fibonacci Brown, yeah. It's fuck these oplings seeking refuge in my mental. This wish a nigga was central. Make sure it's holy in your temple. You a vegetable when I'm in the room, and I'm vegetarian when I eat my food. Palms together when I pray on you, cause the chef about to use her favorite tool. Chop, cut, slice, dice. Shit, I ain't even got a knife. Seem like when I spell it in a rhyme, I cut a motherfucker up and serve him over rice. You ain't the only one that lose your cashews like you fi. But since me goes nuts too, I call it stir fry. Talk that shit, I'm licking my lips. This kind of beef, my favorite shit. Scrimmage anonymous, like nigga, who you playing with? And that's a meal on you haters. Healthiest meal you ate in ages. The way I see through the bullshit numbers, I might be Neo in the Matrix. Yeah, and that's on Trinity. Shit, piss and spit on the enemy. Fake friend of me, shit be offending me. Limit to enemy, friend of me, remedy. Serving that knockoff Nike shit. Check a nigga like, yeah, just try it. I like when they think they tough. Smash on the top, I'll fuck them up.
You can say you seen what you seen, but that don't really mean that's what you really saw. Shape shifted, face different, hate different, waste time and space different. Bing bong, ding kong, big lies about the size of King Kong. With a rhetoric's rhetorical like Solomon, you better put your ring on, cause the stove is really hot. 4 eyes, 4 pots, 2 pans. Dinner with dessert cooking in the kitchen. From scratch, no cans, and I'm walking with the band. Big hats, big boots, drum major. Big stick, long post, love nose, big shot, long ranger. Big hawk talking, giant walking, titan writing, call description. Super Saiyan, saying something, slaying legion with description, 2nd edition. I'm a shot on a mission, quick hand position, Cherokee with the vision. Send no limit, Florida to the boo, I don't stop, get it, get it. Sosa, no Sammy Davis Jr. dancing, tap, tap, fast feet, hand cannon, blam, blam, grandstanding, cub man, and dumb man, the nigga. Everything back, everything stole, everything go, everything cold, everything got, every motherfucking peanut butter in light bowl, motherfucker.
Well, what you got on that? I'm definitely hoping I see you guys running the numbers up on that. That's a YouTube installment. We'll be definitely adding more visuals from the album. But run the numbers up for your girl. I can't wait till the summertime when it's just a little bit warm so I can just blast that and bust a few speakers. You know what I mean? I'm ready to hear it all through the streets of Detroit. And everywhere else. Don't just stop in my city. Anywho, back to the mid-break.
You are now listening to the Nacho Podcast, brought to you by the EBL Network. If it ain't exclusive, it don't matter. It's not your time to talk, it's time to listen. So pull up to the table with your plate and pay attention. It's not your time to talk, Nacho Sunday. It's something different. This is not your opinion, and you don't want to miss it. It's not your time to talk. It's time for the show.
We back. And as I said prior, we are going to get into our beefy nacho. And in this season 2, episode 5 of Nacho Sundays, we are going to be presenting in the beefy nacho. And as you know, the beefy nacho is where conflict, wherever it may exist in the world, we could talk about everything from war overseas to celebrities. So anywhere conflict exists in the world, we could talk about that in the beefy nacho on Nacho Sundays. And this Sunday, we are going to be talking about the Jaguar right effect. Now, I know a lot of people have been very skeptical when it comes to Jaguar right, but I know a lot of people seem to be very responsive to the Cat Williams and Shay Shay interview. And Cat Williams was praised for being a truth teller. And a lot of people were quick to say, but where was the lie? But where was the lie? And even though there was a couple of things that were pointed out that didn't quite match up with what Cat Williams said, he was still praised for being a truth teller. So at the same time, I think to overlook Jaguar Wright in that conversation is a bit of a disservice. Jaguar Wright has been telling the truth for at least 3 years that I've been tracking her. The last time I even heard her name is when she was the songstress on Jay-Z's Song Cry. So next time I hear her, it wasn't because of, her music. It was because she felt it was imperative to expose certain individuals who have made the industry a place that she feels is not conducive to developing artists to be just artists. They have to be other things, and it involves them having to do questionable things or things that cause their character or integrity out. And she's calling that out. She thinks that kind of behavior ruins quite a few people who are actually already in the industry or trying to get into the industry. A lot of people didn't feel like there was quite the expose going on until, again, like I said, they saw the Cat Williams video on Shay Shay, or they saw the Cassie versus Diddy lawsuit that came out that got settled in less time than it took to read the whole thing. So I think that when you have those kinds of discussions, it's just a disservice to exclude Jaguar Wright, because from what I can see, that she has been talking on a plethora of interviews. Nobody, 3 years, nobody has decided to file anything against her. Nobody has decided to file any cease and desist. Nothing has been said to make her stop talking, and she has vowed that she won't stop talking. So that definitely lends to credibility when it comes to the things that Jaguar Wright mentions. So could she be telling so much of a truth that people are in the industry are concerned that she may say too much? Because I know for a while, Jaguar was having some challenges when she was with her former husband, when it came to where she was going to be, her location, her safety. So she became very skeptical about releasing that information. So ultimately, her and her husband came to a demise. Like I said, it's her former husband. So they are no longer rocking with each other. So I just have to take that as she's got to be very careful. She's had to be very careful in her movings and dealings. But even still, nobody has come to say that this woman is wrong. And she has made certain people her targets. She specifically named Clive Davis. She specifically named the Carters. And she's made the statement, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said that, that Puffy is definitely not right, but Sean Carter's worse. And she said that we need to be doing a Free Beyonce campaign the way that we're doing a Free Britney Spears campaign. So I'm just, with all the other things that she's had to say, I'm reluctant to think that there isn't any truth to what she's saying here. I don't know myself. Again, this is all alleged information, but it does stand out to me that nobody's sent her a cease and desist. And that could be because she doesn't want anybody to know where she is, so nobody knows where to send the cease and desist. But again, I haven't really seen too many people come out to say that she's lying or she's wrong. And truthfully speaking, again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho's opinion. It's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And I'm here to tell you that everybody can get on this here internet and do and say what they want to do, defend themselves or not. And for as many people as she's had specifics to say, I've seen more people come out to corroborate what she said than to dispute it. And I think the people that have disputed it are many times not in the know. They end up disputing something and having to eat their words like, whoops. So I think the Jaguar Wright effect is something that may have had its inception waves way before the Cassies and the Cat Williams and the Shay Shays and all of the other self-proclaimed truth tellers. I think the effect of her truthfulness causes us as a society to who have her in our sphere of algorithms. It causes us to think. You got to ask questions about, what if? Because some of these dots are actually connecting. Some of this stuff makes sense, and nobody's able to dispute what she's saying. And the people that come out to dispute end up looking crazy because it doesn't make sense when they say it. It only makes sense when she say it. So I think that she has an effect that hopefully will encourage us to continue to tell the truth, continue to do it in a way that is beneficial in the right ways. I'm not a fan of targeting people, but I'm not a fan of people being bullied either. So when the bully becomes the target, I'm not interested in standing in the way of that. So again, this is Nacho's opinion. Not your opinion. And that's why you come over here to Nacho Sundays. Right now, I'm going to slide over to my chat just to see who pulled up with us on this here Sunday, season 2, episode 5. I see exclusive Battle League is in the building. If it ain't exclusive, it don't matter. I also see that 2-1 is in the building hanging out with us for the long run. And I see Joy is in the chat. She says she made it. Came over to the show. I appreciate you, Joy. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this Sunday. And from there, we are going to move through our nacho layers from the beefy nacho into the veggie nacho. And in the veggie nacho, we talk about health. And in this week's health edition, I thought it would be a good idea to put together an herbal starter kit for your DIY herbs at home. Now, I get a lot of questions. People ask me a lot of things about, how I take care of myself. They ask me questions a lot of times when I have friends who have a cold or they have some sinus issues, I'll recommend a certain tea or a certain herb that will give them some relief. And that further interests them into being able to maybe do some of this on their own, maybe do more DIY stuff to help themselves feel better and just for regular healthy habits. So I thought it would be a good idea to put together just a list of a few herbs and things that you can get to make a whole host of tonics at home to keep yourself healthy, to boost your immune system, to give your family so that you're not always running to a drugstore trying to get something over the counter off the shelves with chemicals and ingredients in it that you can't even pronounce. I know I mess up the names on the back of those medications a lot of times. So I know there are people out there like me. So I thought it would be a good idea to make a herbal home remedy starter kit. And to start off, I'm going to suggest that you get oregano. And I'm going to suggest that you get 2 types of oregano. Many of you may already buy oregano that you put in your food. So I'm saying that that's a good idea. But there's also oregano oil. And I'm going to suggest that you get some oregano oil. Now, oregano itself is known to reduce arthritis. It's known to help prevent heart attacks and strokes. It's known to energize the body, helps detox the body, aids in digestion, boosts immune system, and helps prevent helps to protect skin and gut health. So there are many ways that you can use oregano. It's a very powerful herb that can be to the benefit of your body where you don't always have to run out to the drugstore and get some creams or things like that. Another thing that you want to add to that starter kit is rosemary. Now, a lot of people use rosemary oil because they have those aromatherapy where you can drop in the oil of what you want the room to smell like, and it'll steam through the whole room. Well, rosemary actually has medicinal effects. Some people use rosemary oil to rub it on their temples when they have a headache. It's known to relieve pressure in a headache. And actually rosemary on the where it looks like a pine needle, you can make teas out of that. You can also boil that to get some of the elements out of the rosemary that you can use for your hair. Many uses. Rosemary resolves migraines, boost immune and memory. So it's a memory booster. I know a lot of people always like to make the joke about ginkgo biloba, but rosemary also has memory enhancing effects, reduces stress and anxiety, improves circulation, gives naturally fresh breath, helps to regulate your bowel movements and also your gastrointestinal tract. So, if you are having gut issues, if you are having an upset stomach, rosemary can also help you with that. Now, I know a lot of times when it comes to doing things, when it comes to the, how am I going to use it for my gut and how do I use it for, my headache? Well, again, that's why I would suggest you guys do your own due diligence and look into it, because I know for your gut, you can make a tea out of it. I wouldn't suggest eating it in that sense, but a tea might help. But for your hair, you're going to want to boil the actual plant and use that drained extract to make a hair tonic, where you can mix other things into it with the rosemary. So it's different ways that you can use it. So make sure you look into it, because that's how you're going to be able to get the benefit of having all of these things when you know the different ways that you can utilize it. The third thing I'm going to tell you to get into your starter kit is thyme. I'm not talking about wrist thyme. I'm talking about the herb thyme, and that's going to be spelled Thyme. So get some thyme seasoning, and although it may taste good in some of your Italian dishes, thyme is excellent for being able to reduce mucus. I tell a lot of people when they talk to me, they say, oh, my sinuses are going crazy, kind of like mine's are right now. My sinuses are going crazy, or I can't get over this cough, this cold is just staying with me. It's just full of mucus. I can't seem to get it out. I always suggest to them that they use thyme like a tea, and that should help to reduce the amount of mucus that you have. So in the starter kit so far, we've got oregano, we have rosemary, and we have thyme. Now, to complement, let me give you some of the benefits of the thyme. Improves blood circulation, protects the heart, takes care of the eyes, cures respiratory issues. So there we talk about the mucus, and it enhances immunity. So all three of the herbs that we've talked about definitely do help you with your immunity, keeping your immunity strong, especially in this kind of time of year where the weather is up and down. I know some of my Michigan viewership, y'all get what I'm saying? But these three herbs can be used and mixed with certain other things where you can make a bunch of other do-it-yourself tonics right at home. So once you have those three, I'm going to also suggest that you get some turmeric, local honey if you can. Onions, I would suggest they would be either white onions or red onions, vinegar, baking soda, ginger, and pepper. Now, most of this you should be able to find in your local grocery store. I don't think anything that I've named, maybe the rosemary, but you should be able to find everything pretty much in your local grocery store. These things here will allow you to be able to make your at-home tonics to keep your immune system strong, to keep you healthy. You can make teas out of them. You can make salves out of them. You can make tonics, booster shots out of them. When I say booster shots, I'm talking about just a small shot, a liquid shot, not any ouchies or jabs. So I want to make sure I'm clear on that. But the turmeric and honey, I know in some cultures, turmeric and honey mixed together. A lot of people like to call it liquid gold. They take that on a daily to help to boost their immune system and just to stay healthy as a regular regimen. Additionally, a lot of people like to cook with the turmeric powder. And cooking with the turmeric powder, I'm not sure if my audience knows, but if you add pepper to meals where you are also utilizing turmeric, you enhance the benefits of the turmeric 10 times. So pepper is a turmeric enhancement aside from having its own medicinal benefits. So again, we've got oregano, rosemary, thyme, turmeric, honey, onions, red or white, vinegar, baking soda, ginger, and pepper. So I think those are 10 good things to have in your Herbal Starter Kit to make sure that you can have a do-it-yourself get unsick quick remedies at home. You have to make sure that you also keep an eye on the expiration dates for some of the things that you're buying. If you're buying the extracts, make sure you want to keep an eye on the expiration dates so you don't keep them too long. Some of these things can lose their effectiveness if you have them on the shelf too long because they expire and they aren't going to be as effective as if they were prior to that expiration date. So keep your eye on your expiration dates on your herbal home remedy starter kit, and also make sure that you YouTube these everything that I've named, all 10 things. Make sure you YouTube how to use those things together. You may also hear other herbs mentioned. Please make sure you are paying attention to the herbs that you know will help you and your family. Maybe you need to add some nettle leaf, or maybe you need to add some green tea. So you might hear some of those things. So quite all right to add to your herbal pantry in the way that you feel like you need to. But I definitely think that considering access to grocery stores may be scarce, I believe that access to pharmacies will be even more scarce. I think that more than people trying to come into the grocery stores to get food, there's going to be an aggression when it comes to people coming to grocery stores to get into the pharmacy. So ways that you can make yourself feel better, take care of your body, take care of your immune system. I'm going to suggest that you do that by making sure you have some of these herbs at home, and you can really even grow some of these things from home. A lot of people I know, they grow their own onions. Once they get an onion, especially that has a bottom cap on it where they can place that onion in soil, they grow onions to where they don't have to buy them from the grocery store anymore. So definitely going to suggest that you come back to this video if you need to, so that you can go over the 10 things I named for your herbal starter kit to be able to take care of you and your family at home. And that is going to wrap up our veggie nacho. And as you know, my Nachotarians know, I'm going to check in with my chat for a second. And then we are going to get into the final portion of our nacho for our Nacho Sundays. Now, it looks like Joy has come in, and she definitely says she will be back next week. So we can't wait to see you next Sunday. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Commodity is still in the chat. Shout out to him. Commodity is definitely an unsung hero on a lot of the EBL things that happen behind the scenes. So we want to make sure we thank him. And with that said, we are going to move into our Nacho Supreme. And in the Nacho Supreme, we talk about things that we can use to make life better, easier, things we can do to get through this thing called life, and stuff we wish we knew when we were younger, you know, good advice, tips. That's what the Nacho Supreme is for, where we talk about the knowledge nuggets. So this week, the knowledge nugget is called Do the Work. Do the work. I know a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I talk to, they love to quote the Bible, but sometimes there are things in there that they just don't speak about. And I know it's selective versing. You thinking selective verses, but there's a phrase in there that says, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And what that means to me is you got to do the work. You got to do the work. And doing the work means you have to be willing to do the work. It's not enough to just say you're going to put out in the universe what you want and hope that the universe just returns to you like you rubbed a genie lamp and you're just waiting, waiting for it to fall out of the sky. You have to do the work. Now, I know it's important to spend time in the vision. I know it's important to speak it into existence, but that's not what they meant on do the work. Do the work also means you have to put physical effort somehow into what you say you want. If you want the Lamborghini, save the money. That's a physical effort. If you want to be a best-selling author, write a chapter a week. You have to do the work. It's not enough to say or to just talk about it, to just think that you can say it and that, speaking the goal out is enough. You've got to be willing to be physical with what you speak out of your mouth. You have to be responsible and you have to be physical. Being physical with what you say out of your mouth means that you are willing to be accountable to what you say. It means that if I tell you, I try to be kind to all Black women, and you catch me not being kind, you call me to the carpet. You find out why I'm behaving like that. Because if I'm going to say something out of my mouth, I have to be responsible and accountable for it. That's doing the work. If I tell you I have a goal and I'm not working towards that goal in a way that you can see, you have a right to ask me, well, what are you doing to get to that goal? You could tell me, I'm trying to lose weight. And you sitting there with a plate of spaghetti that covers half your face. And you got 3 pieces of garlic bread. And you got a salad covered in dressing you can't see through. And a Diet Coke. I have a right to ask, well, what are you doing to meet that goal? So be willing to do the work. It's not enough to just envision the results. I know that some people are kind of caught up in the whole, if you can I know some people are listening to like the metaphysics of manifestation, and they're taking it to a point that they believe the work is the envisioning. They don't have to be physical with what they say they want. So they're like, if I can just think about what I want for longer than 6 seconds, that is me telling the universe that I want it bad enough. Well, I think the universe may respond faster to the person who sees the vision, who speaks the vision, and who puts effort into being physical with the vision. I've seen people who have taken physicality to a point of, I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this goal, but I know that as for me, a person, I'm going to carry myself in a way that I'm kind to people, and I'm trying to be righteous with people, so that I set out the vibration into the world that I would like returned to me, so that I can be able to see some of these things manifest in a righteous way. You got to be willing to do the work. Too many times, I think in our society currently, we have people who feel so entitled. They don't think they have to do the work. They feel so they feel like they are supposed to have certain things, and that other people should just want to give these things to them because they're them. And they have no concept of actually being physical with the goal. So I encourage you on this season 2, episode 5 of Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. I encourage you to be physical with your goals. Do the work. Do the work. Don't just talk about it. Don't just dream about it. Don't just gossip with other people about it. Don't get caught up in the feeling you have when you can talk to other people and they can talk back with you about the fantasy of what you say you want. Actually get physical with it. You want to be a rapper? Start writing down raps. Turn those raps into songs. Start reciting those raps to beats so you know how to time yourself. Turn on beats that are instrumentals on this internet so you can make sure that you get your timing correct on how to come into a song. You don't have to always do it one way. James Brown was a very good example. He believed every instrument was a drum. So if you can think of every instrument as being a drum, you can come into the song any way you want as an instrument because your voice is also a drum. So I say all of this to say, ultimately, do the work. Don't be afraid to do the work. Things you want are going to take you putting in an effort beyond you talking about it and beyond you dreaming about it. You actually have to do the work. And I believe that a lot of times for many of us, what we want is on the other side of effort. So be willing to do the work. I know that there are things that I want. There are goals that I have. And even if I keep failing, one thing I am not is unwilling to do the work. I'm willing to do the work. And until I get it right, I'll be doing the work. I'm not just going to dream about it. I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to be willing to do the work. And I encourage you to do the same. And with that said, we have come to the end of Nacho Sundays. The nacho was good for me. I hope it was good for y'all. And I will be back here next Sunday to see you guys again at 6 o'clock. Again, Nacho Sundays, every Sunday at 6 o'clock, where it's Nacho Opinion. It's Nacho's opinion. And we out.
You are not.